Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about doing a little real life prep for a very long gaming marathon. So the time has finally come. That new patch, expansion, or new game launch is actually coming out. You have a date, and we're really excited about the launch of this game. Super excited. So the first thing that we want to do is schedule time off. So if you have work or school obligations, you want to let people know ahead of time that you need to take some time off if you're able to. And the sooner you get that time off request in, the more likely you're going to be to have that approved. So once you've let work or school know that you need time off, it's time to let your friends and family know what you plan to do. And I know a lot of you probably think I'm crazy, and it's like maybe you have a spouse or family that doesn't really understand your obsession with video games. But trust me, like the more that you talk to them about it and the more you explain, okay, this is what I'm doing, and you let them know ahead of time, the better it's going to be throughout your life. I've been gaming for more than 15 years. So by now, my parents, and I'm an adult, I haven't lived with my parents in 10 plus years. But my parents still know that I won't be able to make our weekly call the week of a big launch, or I might have to raid certain nights and I have to schedule things around that. And my mom almost understands what it means when I'm talking about video games, but we're getting there. But she knows that it is a time commitment. So if you do have a significant other or family that lives with you, make sure you let them know that when this game comes out, you're going to have X number of days where you are going to be largely unavailable to do any social commitments. The third thing I like to do before any big game launch is I like to have my house like super clean. I want to go through and I'm going to clean my house like I'm trying to sell it. That's how clean I want it to be. I want it to be like professional level clean. So that means like just beyond the normal, like picking up, vacuuming and dusting. I want to like clean my baseboards. I want to do any small projects like recaulk my shower. That's probably something that I'm going to do before this upcoming game launch that we that this video is for. And, you know, just like wiping out your fridge, things that you kind of only do like once a month. You want to just have everything like super tip-top shape. So next I want to talk about food. What I like to do anytime there's a big game launch is I want to plan my meals and snacks for the first few days. This makes it so that I don't have to make any decisions. We're less likely to order out and eat unhealthy those first few days. And it's a lot cheaper if I already have all the food prepared at home. My favorite meals to make when we're doing big gaming sessions are anything that can go in the crock pot. If I can just chop stuff up, throw it in a crock pot and turn it on, set it, forget it, and have like this delicious meal ready in 6 to 8 hours, I'm going to do that. That is one of my favorite things. For snacks, I like anything that isn't going to be messy on my hands. So like a lot of people think gaming snacks are like chips and Cheetos and things like that, but you get so much crud on your hands that you're going to have to like either eat it with a fork, which I mean, honestly, that's silly, or you're going to have to like have this dust on your hands. It's going to get all over your mouse and keyboard, all over your controller that you're using. It's just not good, not a good idea. So I like cutting up fresh veggies. They're not going to leave any sort of residue on your hand. For lunches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, things that you don't need to really keep refrigerated, because I tend to like grab things to put them on my desk and then like a couple hours later, I remember that it's there. So things like that aren't going to turn if they're left at room temperature for a while. I like to make sure I have paper plates and paper napkins. Normally eat at my desk during these meals because we are gaming a lot. So I like to eat. I have my paper plate done, and then we like to keep a big trash can in our office for these gaming sessions. So we'll just throw it away there. Don't have to worry about it. Don't have to let gross stuff build up on our desk. We have like our space continues to be clean. So 2 other points I want to make is not to overdo caffeine. Like, don't buy a 30-pack of Balls energy drinks or Monster energy drinks and think you're going to drink them all. It's just not good for your body, and you're just going to feel like crap if you do something like that. drink your normal amounts of caffeine. And for me, that's like a cup of coffee in the morning. If I want more coffee after that, I usually switch to decaf or like a half caffeinated deal. And that way I don't get shaky and I don't feel like crap later. And then eating and drinking healthy. No one wants to have to spend like time in the bathroom when you could be grinding dungeons. I mean, right? Yeah, no one wants that. All right. And the last big thing you want to plan for before your gaming launch is if you have kids, you want to plan some fun stuff for them to do on the days that you want to play. And I'm talking about spending some time with the grandparents or over at a friend's house. Make sure you coordinate that ahead of time. Maybe buy them tickets to go to a theme park or the zoo. Other than that, like if your kids are older and also into gaming, that's a great time to buy a new game for them. And I don't recommend that you let them play as much as you're about to play if you play anything like I do, but it's good to have something to keep them happy so that you can do your thing and they're not upset about it. All right, so that's all the things that you want to do ahead of time. So now let's talk about the day of your game launch. So you're going to know ahead of time, like what time everything's launching. The first tip I have for that is if you can get extra sleep, either take a nap or try to go to bed early the night before. You want to be as well rested as possible so that if you end up wanting to spend extra time beyond like when you normally go to sleep, it's not going to kill you. Before everything starts, you want to get in a shower, exercise if that's something you normally do in a day. Just get it in, make sure your body feels good before you're going to sit down and like tap on keys all day. Also, you want to go into the game with, I want to say realistic expectations. I've gone through a lot of video game launches and a lot of the times the servers are bumpy. It's hard to either log in the game or you might not be able to get into the new zones that are opening up. The game just might not be performing as well as it could be. There could be crashes, there could be downtime. Just try not to stress about it. Everyone's going to be experiencing similar downtime. So if there are people that are able to get into the game, try and figure out what they're doing to stay connected. Sometimes there's settings in the game that you can change that are internet related. I know that there's been a couple times where some of the settings have like created more disconnects than other settings. And if you can do a little bit of research, just ask around, figure that out, it might make your experience a lot better. And then when you get into the game, you want to make sure that you have a plan. And it doesn't have to be like all these complicated plans that everyone has laid out. A lot of people have spent a lot of time outlining exactly what they plan to do. You don't have to do that. Your plan could just simply be, I'm going to log in, talk to my friends on Discord, and we're going to just like go and explore the zone. Like that's totally fine. Just have an idea of what you're going to do. If you do have a specific plan and you have like step-by-step things that you want to do, like that's kind of how I'm planning to play. I have my 20 quests saved up. I have a ton of like turn-ins I'm going to do. I have planned out my route of where I'm going to fly and when I'm going to grab the junk out of my bank, when I plan to level up my professions. I have all that stuff written out because I'm a little bit sweaty. And like, you don't have to play that as long as you have like some sort of plan, like that's good enough. Play it how you want to play. You just want to make sure that you have a direction before you step into the game. Now let's talk about while you're in the middle of a big gaming marathon. And when I say big gaming marathon, this can vary for people depending on what you're used to. If you're only used to playing like 3 hours at a time and you're playing 6 hours, I think that counts. If you are playing 16 hours the first couple of days, yeah, that's a lot of time. So here are some tips that I think are really important for your physical health and to keep you more focused on what you're doing and avoid some of the frustrations of getting tired and dying a lot to silly things. So the first tip is to drink plenty of water and use caffeine sparingly. This is a marathon, not a sprint, so there's no need to chug Monster Energy drinks right away. Stick to whatever you normally drink for caffeine. I talked about this a little bit in my earlier points. Make sure you're taking frequent breaks. I like to shoot for having a break every 2 to 3 hours, and that means just getting up, walking away from my desk. I'll refill my water, grab a snack, do a little bit of stretching for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm back into it. Feel good doing that. So make sure you take breaks. As you're playing, make sure that the buttons that you're frequently hitting are in comfortable places. So if you're used to having your hand on your keyboard, you want to mainly hit like 1, 2, 3, 4. If you are stretching your fingers apart, like maybe hitting like Alt F5, like every other mob that you're attacking for cooldowns, like just remap it. Like you can change it later, but we're trying to avoid hand cramps here. So have simplified keyboard bindings. Your hands will thank you later by not cramping up or giving you carpal tunnel. This is very, very important. Make sure you do it. All right, this next thing is a little bit of a luxury, but you can kind of bootleg it if you want to. But if you can configure your setup so that you can stand part of the time when you're gaming, do it. I upgraded my desk to a standing desk a couple years ago. I love it. I can move it up and down as I need. But before I did that, I would frequently have like sciatic pain, and it would help me so much if I was able to stand at my desk instead of sit. So what I would do is I had a shelf on my desk that I would stick my monitor on that was about eye level, and then I would flip a laundry basket upside down and stick my keyboard and mouse on top of that. And that worked for me. It was a little bit harder to set up, and I couldn't like easily switch between sitting and standing, but it made my body feel so much better that I was able to stand part of the time. So if you can stand during some of your gaming time, do it. Now, when it's time to take a break and go sleep, plan to wind down for a little bit of time. When I play a lot of video games, my brain is just like overactive. Like if I'm closing my eyes, I see like the damage meter or the scrolling combat text in my mind, like when I close my eyes. So I need to kind of let my brain calm down a little bit. So go take a shower for a little bit of time. Go do maybe like the meal prep for the next day, do some dishes, anything that spends like 30 minutes before you start doing your bedtime routine. It'll help you like decompress a little bit. So that's all the tips I have for today. I hope that you guys find this stuff helpful. The goal is to kind of front load as much game time as you can into the first few days of launch and do so without feeling like crap. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you want to kind of pace yourself. I talked about having a plan, but try and have a plan, but also be flexible if your plan isn't working out the way you want it to, or you want to just go and have some fun and play with your friends and do whatever they're doing. Like, be a little bit flexible, do whatever brings you joy, and you'll have a good time. So thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!